Hello, guys, and welcome. Welcome to Theme Park Wizard TV, Part 7. This is Episode 7. Can't believe it's been over a month already. Um, 7 episodes of this. Thank you for everyone for watching and supporting. Today, we'll be going over a lot of topics, including the Secret Life of Pet store and past moment preview, the Avengers campus details, and the name for the Spider-Man attraction, Spaceship Earth's extended refurb that begins May 26th. The SeaWorld parks testing all their coasters, Emperor, Iron Gwazi, and Icebreaker. The Berry Festival starting March 20th, and coronavirus safety at theme parks and general public places. So let's start here with Secret Life of Pets. So, as you know, Secret Life of Pets opens in 16 days, but the past month previews start as early as Saturday. I'll be there Monday at 2 p.m. Um, and I did a video, my best performing video. So thank you everyone who watched it and supported and subscribed from to the channel from that video. With 2.7 thousand views, my best performing video was the Secret Life of Pets first look. First look inside the Secret Life of Pets video. That is my best performing video, 2.7 thousand views. So thank you for everyone who watched that. Looks fantastic. I love the cardboard boxes. I've seen the question pop up on as to why there's not a single lap bar and just 2 lap bars. I'm confused on that too. Well, I wonder how much movement this box is going to have because, also as a 30 still concerned confused about the 36, 32-inch height requirement, where Spider-Man has no height requirement. So, I'm very interested on that because that may signal a lot of movement, but I thought it was like a family style dark ride, so I'm not entirely sure. But, we'll have to see, I guess, when I go on to Monday if I can how much movement it has and why it requires a 32-inch height requirement. Also, the single lap bar and the double lap bars does make it a little bit more uncomfortable than just a single lap bar. If there's a single lap bar, you can also fit a potential third person there, just like the Haunted Mansion Doom Buggies and the um the Little Mermaid ride at California Adventure. Again, if you have 3 skinny people, you can fit them in there, so that's nice. But it's strictly 2 per person at this Omni-Move attraction here at Universal, but Singular Pets looks fantastic with 64 animatronic figures. Now, there's on nearly all physical sets, I think. I don't yeah, on the pictures, you didn't see 1 screen in there, so that was nice. And, I'm super excited to ride the ride, but let me know your comments below. Are you excited to ride Secret Life of Pets? Are you just still is it just still not, um, living up to the hype for you? Or you just still don't care about it. Let me know that in the comments below as we move forward. And this Singular Pet store is pretty awesome too. The Singular Pet store is nice because it's like a Universal's version of Build-A-Bear, except you can not build, but you can make a pet. When you make a pet, you go ahead and it's $25, and then $15 for the other stuff for the some of the clothes, so it's like $40. But you can choose from one of the 4 main characters and style them up however you want. And if you want just a pet, it's $25. To style them, it's 15 extra dollars. So it's a cool thing. The Universal Pass discounts apply as well, and there's a whole bunch of ties, lanyards, and cool accessories that you can dress your pet up with. And if you want to see a full video of that, I was in the store and I did a whole video of it, an 8-minute video of it over the weekend, so definitely check my channel for that, um, as well. So let me go to the video, So I'm super excited for this attraction, as I have stated, and I it's been a long time coming, like about 2 years. So I'm excited for it to finally be open, and for Universal to gain yet another attraction, especially a high capacity attraction, because when it's summertime, Universal gets very busy, especially during springtime with only about 9 like 11 attractions to do. That's not very many. So And with The Walking Dead closed, the very little people that got, well, they're still going to be pushed in the parks. So it'll be nice that they can get on pets. That should also bring some more people to park. Universal has been suffering some declining attendance the past few months, which is that why they're offering steep discounts up to $60 off on their annual passes. So if you're local and figure you might want to go ride Singular Pets twice, get the California Neighbor Pass. That's the one I have, $144, about $5 more than the actual ticket. Or you can go up higher, and again, you have up to $60 off, I think, on the Gold or Platinum passes, which before the $60 off, it was like only $529 total. That's less than Disney's Flex Pass, which is their mid-level pass. So very affordable for Universal, and the rest of the theme parks are actually very, very affordable as well for passes. Six Flags Magic Mountain, my membership is $9 a month, super affordable. Um, Knott's Berry Farm, I think it's $40 or $100 for the entire year. I think with their new promotion. So if you want to pass, if you're in Southern California, you want to pass to any of these parks, it's very affordable, except for Disneyland, that's a little bit expensive. So super excited for that. Let me know your thoughts on Singular for Pets if you're going to get a Universal Pass to visit it. If you have your pass member preview date, and are you excited for that? And if you're going to the pet store to build a pet, I'm very excited. Which I'm very curious to see if how many people are planning to do just those things, especially because it is raining, but 10 straight days of rain here in Southern California. So then that might put a damper on the Universal's opening day parade on the 27th if it's still raining, or even the past member previews. Some of the people might just go, ride the ride, and leave because it's raining. They may not stay in the park, so Universal's probably pretty bummed about that. But moving on to our next story of the day, we have Avengers Campus, of course. Disney this morning released lots of information on Avengers Campus. Probably it is definitely the most information Avengers Campus has received since its um, official announcement, actually. Um, Avengers Campus, lots of stuff was announced. I did a whole video on it. And I'm going to start off here with the name of the Spider-Man ride. Spider-Man ride, just like Disney's been doing with a lot of their rides, you know, has like two names, like a long name separated by a colon. So the name is Web Slingers, colon, a Spider-Man adventure. Um, mm, it's an okay name. I mean, it's not the most creative name. Um, some people, I'm sure, are gonna just absolutely, especially online, probably just thrash and hate it. I think it's that bad. No, I actually think Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout has a better. It's a longer name, but I think it's actually a better name. Same with Rise of the Resistance, Millennium Falcon, Smuggler's Run. I feel like those are all again long names, but still better names than because Web Slingers, the Spider-Man adventure. But it is a very practical name, I guess, because it tells you exactly what you're going to be doing. You're going on a Spider-Man adventure, and you have web slingers, and you'll be shooting webs via virtual reality. So again, a very practical but not creative name, in my opinion. But let me know your thoughts of what you think of the name below, because I feel like this would be a very hotly debated name on the internet with mostly hate, as the internet usually does. Whew, so, yeah, sorry guys. But yeah, what's more important is what's not just the name, but what's going on above and below the building, or above inside the building. Specifically inside the building, is the writing gonna be fantastic? Is it gonna be okay? Is it gonna be more than Toy Story Midway Mania? And I hope so, and I think so because of the cool devices where you'll get to shoot out the webs. The only thing I don't like is the 3D glasses. I really thought I know Universal, you know, moving away from the 3D glasses with Forbidden Journey and then Minion Mayhem. So I thought maybe other theme parks like Disney would do the same thing and just not do the 3D glasses because I really do not like the 3D glasses. And I thought actually in part also because the Ratatouille, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, they really like the word adventure with their rides and theme parks, California Adventure. But they Remy's Ratatouille Adventure is not opening with 3D glasses, it's just gonna be a 2D attraction only, unlike the one in Paris, where it originally opened, it's for 3D glasses. Don't know if it's like that anymore, but I just thought that was a gradual step from theme parks taking away from the 3D and even virtual reality. Makes sense here because of the webs, but I feel you for a while you at like SeaWorld parks, you and Six Flags parks, you thought you just saw a whole bunch of announcements of virtual reality coasters. So now you don't see that very often. So I just thought maybe that was a fad, which it still probably could be. But yes, what do you guys think of this Spider-Man attraction? I'm gonna say it's about a C attraction, like just a maybe a filler, maybe something while you're waiting for your fast pass for Guardians of the Galaxy or Disney's Racers, or the Incredicoaster. Like, all right, or even maybe even if you're waiting for the Spider-Man or Avengers show to start in Avengers Campus. You're like, oh, the show starts in like an hour. Have some time to kill. Let's go around the Spider-Man ride real quick, and we'll be out, and we'll be already here. That is what I feel like that this ride's gonna be. Which is okay because still you have the thrill ride of Guardians of the Galaxy, and then you'll have the Avengers E-ticket, um, which will be a thrill ride. So it's nice to have a ride with no height requirement for everybody. Except I just think that Spider-Man deserves a little bit better than that, and maybe that should have gone to a more underwhelming character like let me think. Maybe the Winter Soldier. I love the Winter Soldier, but yeah, maybe like a B or C level character in the MCU should have gotten their own ride, some kind of Winter Soldier ride. I feel like Spider-Man deserves the biggest and best because he's a main character and the MCU, so he deserves like a trackless ride or like some really cool Indiana Jones style adventure ride. Um, or roller coaster. Or Iron Man deserves a roller coaster, in my opinion. Captain America deserves a roller coaster. They all deserve the great stuff. But what type of ride would you like to see Spider-Man? Or do you agree? Do you think it matters what type of characters attached to the ride, or do you just think all rides should be fantastic? Let me know in the comments below over there. But hmm, there's not just, of course, the Spider-Man ride. There's the Spider-Man stunt show, and they even mentioned it. It says again. They said you'll be able to see Spider-Man swinging and flinging above, or he said you may catch a glimpse of Spider-Man swinging above his own ride and something like technology never seen before in Disney Park, the Spider-Man stunt show or Stuntronic. Yeah. So that's awesome. And again, I still think that's gonna be better than the entire ride itself. But I really hope I'm proven wrong, or at least it just I hope Spider-Man Great is at least a B level ride, not a C level ride. Like I'm still anticipating. But it'd be nice to have more rides and more capacity, not just the Bugs Land rides, but ride for everyone that has no height requirement, like I've stated before. In California Adventure, they need more of those in California Adventure, more family-oriented rides that have no height requirement, something like Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, where the whole family can enjoy because it's kind of sucks when if you're a child and you can't get on the Incredicoaster or Guardians of the Galaxy, but your parents or your brothers do, and then you have to wait for them at the exit. That's unfortunate. But Disney, I still feel like needs to work on the names because Web Slinger Spider-Man Adventure is just a little bit bland. But again, you let me know about that and below. The one cool thing about Avengers Campus that was now stated, they have like a Droid Depot type of experience. Right across the way in Web Suppliers, there you'll have the ability to build your own spider bots. Um, 8 legs and a central body, and they'll comes with remote control, just like the Droid Depot, and you will be able to, for an additional upcharge, by character do tactical upgrades is what they're calling it to the spider bot in the vein and give the spider bot the same superhero powers as Captain America, Black Widow, Iron Man, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and they mentioned one more. I forgot the other one, but from basically the nearly almost the main Avengers cast, you can upgrade um, your spider bot with those the powers of each of the heroes. And that is, I don't know the pricing, they didn't release any pricing, but based on what the Droid Depot, I expect maybe the spider bot to be $100 like the Droid is, and then the tactical upgrades, which in my opinion are just personality chips like the Droid Depot, will be $14. So I feel like $114 for the whole thing, that would be my guess for what this will cost, but it also doesn't seem to be an experience like the Droid Depot. So maybe it'll be a little bit cheaper. Who knows? The Droid Depot is like specifically you have to go in there, and if you're in there, you have to buy a Droid. And if you have someone in your party has to be buying a Droid. The web suppliers is a shop. They'll have the experience, but I feel like it'll be more to be a shop, and then just in the separate like half of the room, you'll get to go build your own Spider Bot. But it won't be like a whole dedicated store like Joy Depot. Just a whole, there won't be a whole factory, and you don't get to. It won't be like that super immersive like Joy Depot was, which leads me to think maybe it'll be a little bit cheaper and won't be as like won't be as big, a big of a thing as Joy Depot. But I feel like that will be very very popular, and I hope unlike Joy Depot, well now in Galaxy's Edge, you're able to take out your droid, and they have a mat where you can drive your droid around. Small map, but it's a start. But I hope in Marvel Land or Avengers Campus you'll be able to walk your spider bot around the land, or they'll allow you to take it out of the box. They're also going to sell a loungefly backpack, or it won't be a loungefly. They have massive backpack now that you can put your spider bot in. So when you're not using it, and I feel like that's also a good idea instead of that box. I hope this backpack allows people to be is able to be put in a locker, because that's one thing about the droids. When I went to Galaxy's Edge, reservation was in the morning, but when I went on things like the Incredicoaster and Guardians of the Galaxy, I had to hold the droid um, with me. Like the cast members wouldn't even ask. I was like, "Can I just put it here in the hallway just until I get out, or can I just leave it right here?" And they're like, "No, no, no, you have to bring it on." So I just hope with the spider bots, there's at least hold it for you, or they do something, because it is very uncomfortable, of course, especially on the Incredicoaster, specifically going on the loop and just trying to. I had to really tighten up my legs, holding the droid in its box for the whole experience. It was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to obviously fall. It's $100 droid, $114 droid falling, and especially hitting somebody, that would be very bad. Then turns into a lawsuit. But I just hope to have something that you can just, whatever this backpack looks like, I just hope it's easy to store away, or you can, leave it so you won't have to take it on a ride if you don't have to. But what do you think of that? I think it's pretty awesome that what you mean? I was gonna say Six Flags. Goodness, I can't think right now. California Adventure and Disneyland have their own type of experience like that. The Droid Depot and the Spider Bot. So people going to each park can be able to do some type of immersive activity. The real winner of Avengers Campus, besides Guardians of the Galaxy, which is my favorite attraction in the entire resort, is the entertainment. They mentioned there'll be lots of villains, including Taskmaster, making his debut in a Disney park. Taskmaster, of course, is going to be the villain of the upcoming Black Widow movie in May, and his special ability is he's like a photographic reflex in memory, so he can copy anyone's fighting style. So like Black Widow's fighting style, he'll copy it. Like he picks up in a second, he does it right back. And they mentioned him making his debut. That they didn't say in what capacity, but the way they kind of worded it, it made it seem like he would be part of a show. And if you look at the concept art, you see Black Widow and Captain America on the top of the Avengers HQ building running. I feel like they'll be running, and Taskmaster will be up there too, and they'll be doing a whole fighting stunt show on the top of the building, which sounds absolutely incredible if true. And if I'm right, that would be that on the east side of the campus, plus on the west side of the campus, but the other side of the campus, you have Spider-Man flinging and swinging. The entertainment aspect here with the Doctor Strange show, would be incredible as long as none of it gets cut. And I don't think it will be cut because they continue to advertise the flying Spider-Man, and they now are advertising this. So luckily, like Galaxy's Edge, I don't think it will be cut. Um, because you saw what the crowd reaction was when Galaxy's Edge was cut. But the Avengers Campus Entertainment should be fantastic. They also announced, of course, meet and greets with the current Marvel characters, Black Panther, Captain Marvel, or they didn't mention Captain Marvel actually, but Black Panther, Iron Man. Iron Man will be debuting his new suit, his Mac. I think it's Mach 80 suit. Black Widow, Captain America, and of course Spider-Man. Again, they didn't mention Captain Marvel for some reason. Even though she has her own meet and greet, but I'm sure she'll be there as well. Um, but they also mentioned the return of Loki. Loki, of course, was in California Adventure for the Summer of Heroes promotion, but he has since disappeared when the promotion ended. So nice that he'll have um a permanent presence here on Avengers Campus, um, along with Thor, of course. Can't have with Loki without Thor. So that'd be so nice to have that. So the amount of entertainment they've been hiring stunt performers for a long or performers and stunt performers for a long time now, about a month or so. So the amount of entertainment and has all is what I and other YouTubers have always said is key to this land, which makes it even more so excited. Like I said, much more exciting than the Spider-Man ride because mm, like imagine being surrounded by your favorite Marvel heroes doing stunts on top of the rooftop on the roofs and then being able to do a meet and greet with them after that automatically just makes me so happy. Like especially because I'm a big MCU fan. I love Star Wars and I love Marvel, but I'm more of a Marvel than a Star Wars fan, so I'm super excited for the entertainment aspect of this land because and I especially like little children that because Tom Holland, oh yeah, speaking of the Spider-Man, right? Tom Holland will be reprising his role as Spider-Man in that ride. So it'd be awesome for younger um guests to kind of make that connection like, oh wow, I like this Spider-Man ride because Tom Holland. I love Tom Holland. He's here. He's the MCU Spider-Man's right here, and I'm gonna help him get collect all these spider bots. Like instead of just some generic Spider-Man voice no one knows, I feel like it would really be beneficial. I'm glad Sony and Disney or Sony allowed them to gave Tom Holland the permission to go ahead and record lines and probably appear in well, he might appear with his mask off. I think he should appear with his mask off at least, you know, once or twice, maybe in the pre-show. I know there's an animatronic Spider-Man, but I think there's 2 pre-show rooms, so I feel like he should definitely be able to appear again. So guests have that facial recognition, like especially younger people who may not know that Tom Holland is the actual name of the person. Like, "Oh, I know him. He's the actual MCU Spider-Man." So I'm glad Disney and Sony were able to work that out. But and meet and greets with characters, it this sounds potential to be absolutely amazing. Tarzan is amazing with the creativeness and the meet and greets there too, and of course the e-ticket ride, Rangers Wings Racers. Avengers Campus, on the other hand, has the potential to be amazing with the entertainment. Wow. So comment below if you're excited um for as excited as I am for Avengers Campus. Some people are a little on the fence, maybe because there's not a lot of details, but until today we haven't been a lot of details. But there now the more and more is coming out, and there's so many characters involved. I am super excited. Going back to the stores of Avengers Campus, though, um, they have the Spider-Bot and Web store, but then there'll be a tiny, I don't know if it's a store or like a cart, because there's no concept art of it, but there's like an Avengers HQ. No, the Avengers HQ, I think, the store that the big slanted diagonal, where the Quinjet's going and the eventual exit to the e-ticket attraction, that store is gonna have all the Avengers HQ or Avengers gear. It's called the Avengers headquarters. They'll have they mentioned fleece jackets, sweatshirts, shirts, baseball hats, and everything Avengers and all types of clothing and accessories will be in the land. That's actually the land's main store. Um, so that's be super exciting, and of course, I'll probably find myself getting some Avengers campus gear as well. And that'd be really cool if some of the MCU characters, like their real life versions, can just appear and instead of like a meet and greet. Um, or maybe as a meet and greet, like on like special days, like Johnny Depp appeared as Pirates as a Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the Caribbean that one time. That would be awesome if like Rob Downey Jr. just randomly makes an appearance, right? And there's an Iron Man meet and greet, but then for like an hour, Robert Downey Jr. comes out and he's or like a day, Robert Downey Jr. is the Iron Man. Like that would be super cool. And I feel like there's a lot of opportunity for that since they almost all of them live in LA. So Disney, make it happen. That would really make some little little boys and girls and even adults and teenagers dreams or happiness come true. It definitely would make me super happy. Like, oh my gosh, I just got a picture with Robert Downey Jr. That's pretty awesome. So, Avengers Campus sounds like it's gonna be fantastic. I'm super excited. It's opening July 18th. That is one day after Disneyland's 65th anniversary, so it's almost fitting that on the Disneyland 65th anniversary, they'll have a brand new land. Well, it's not Disneyland itself, but the resort will have a brand new land opening a day after its 65th anniversary. So that is awesome. And right after, funny enough, the week after that Friday, Jungle Cruise, the movie is coming out. So it'll be like a Disney kind of 2 weeks, a Disney attraction 2 weeks as um, Avengers Campus, and then the focus kind of shifts a little bit to the Jungle Cruise over Disneyland Park, where you can see The Rock and Emily Blunt take on the classic attraction in, in their own movie, which looks great. The second trailer of the movie came out yesterday, and it looks fantastic. The first one looked fantastic too. The whole backside of water joke and some of the other jokes like the drag wire is in there, and they mentioned the elephants. So I'm super excited for that movie. That looks fantastic. Um, I hope all of you go see it as well. Staying on with the Disney topics, a few days ago, Disney announced that Spaceship Earth is beginning its refurb May 26th. Spaceship Earth was rumored to get a 2-year refurb, 2 year refurb for the longest time, and now I guess according to new DSNY newscast video that came out yesterday, it's scaled back a little bit. Not as early, not 6 months like I guess Jim Hill is reporting on his podcast, but maybe about 18 months, and I guess in the refresh the scenes from refresh the caveman scene, I think, all the way to the technology scenes. And there's this brand new building that's gonna include a new load area and unload area. That building has been cut from the project, which dramatically reduces the amount of time needs to be refurbed. So that should be great for as Epcot continues its transformation. Again, we have Ratatouille opening up potentially by June 1st, which is the end of the Flower and Garden Festival. So the France Pavilion has ended up on the Flower and Garden Festival maps. So that would be exciting for anyone looking to do that. Next, we have Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind opening up there. And we have Spaceship Earth in 18 months places it no, in November 2021, which is just a month after Disney World or the Disney World's or Magic Kingdom's 50th anniversary. So that should be nice. I'll definitely try to get out to Disney World potentially in 2021 for the 50th anniversary. But I've only been there one time, and that was like back in 2007, 6, yeah, very long time ago. So I'm super excited for that, and I'm super excited for fans of Epcot. Super excited for Epcot that it's getting a refurb and the whole park $2 billion is being poured into it, which is nice. We have the Space 220 restaurant room, which opened next month as well, after it's been suffering some delays. but it's I've been a very immersive and technological restaurant, so it makes sense that it'll be suffering delays. It's a massive half it will be a massive, LED panel, LED screen looking out into space. Um, so that will be, absolutely amazing. I absolutely can't wait to see videos of that online when it opens up next month. But you comment below, are you excited for the Epcot transformation? Are you a Florida resident or California? Are you close to the Florida parks or California parks? And which ones do you prefer more? Um, moving on to away from Disney now, we have SeaWorld parks testing the roller coasters. I put up a video of SeaWorld testing Emperor the other about 2 days ago, or was it yesterday? No, it was about 2 days ago on Monday. Emperor is looking for a spring opening, but on the same day Emperor was testing, Iron Iron Gwazi was testing, as well as Icebreaker. Iron Gwazi is at Busch Gardens, Tampa, and um Icebreaker's at SeaWorld Orlando, and of course Emperor's at SeaWorld San Diego. And it's awesome. SeaWorld gets, and I don't know if it's in a rapid attempt to change their image as quickly as possible, or just because they're fast and efficient, but they're getting really, I mean, they're like this when it comes to new rides. They have them up, they start early, and they have them up and ready to go by the first few months of the year, which is fantastic. SeaWorld San Diego specifically, last year they had Tidal Booster up in May. The year before that, they had Electric Eel up in May. So continuing with that, I say early May, late April opening for Emperor because it needs to go through 1,000 test runs, at least a minimum of 1,000 test runs before it can get certified to open. And the fact that it's already starting to test, it's that's fantastic. And 1,000 test runs is for each vehicle, by the way, each train. No, so if there's two trains, each train is go through the cycle 1,000 times, a minimum of 1,000 times. So props to SeaWorld for getting that up. The video itself looks fantastic. Um, it is the first B&M dive coaster on the West Coast, and it um it's a mini dive coaster, but it definitely looks much faster and more like the turns are more intense than its East Coast counterparts because they're much larger. But it just hauls butt through this thing, through the track. It's about 40 seconds from the time you go on the first drop, and you're just going through multiple inversions, and I mean, super smooth, it's incredible. I think this would be a great addition to SeaWorld San Diego, and hang time, poor Knott's hang time only for just like a year, less than a year, had the title of the West Coast tallest dive coaster, and it could even be, well, it has still has West Coast's first dive coaster, but even that was a little controversial as, again, B&M made the dive coaster, so what really counts is a dive coaster. That's what everyone kept asking. Um, but it does have the holding brake, so I feel like it is classified as a dive coaster, but it's not the tallest anymore. It's the second tallest by 4 feet. So comment below if you're going to ride going to SeaWorld San Diego to ride Emperor later on in a few months, or if you're going to the other parks, you're going to ride Iron Quasi or Icebreaker, because those should be opening again within the April to May timeframe, I would assume as well. And in just 9 days, the Boynesberry Festival starts here at Knott's Berry Farm. So they have lost their tallest dive coast on the West Coast, but they can always claim to have the Boynesberry Festival, and that is an exclusive, not exclusive, and it's fantastic. So good. You can see if you're on Theme Park Obsession, Dylan from the Theme Park Obsession, he went to the media preview for the Boynesberry Festival, and every single one of the dishes, or all but one, even though one wasn't bad, the about he tried like 8 and 9 dishes, 8 of them were just superb. Um, and the one of them again wasn't superb, but it wasn't bad. It just was like okay. But there's just everything was fantastic. My favorite of the ones that he tried was the beef. the beef tips and mashed potatoes, that looked that literally made my mouth water. It was fantastic. Specifically for that, I haven't been announced in over a decade, so I definitely want to try to get announced pass because I want to get to Scary Farm for my first time. Yes, first time. I know it's embarrassing. Not Scary Farm for my first time this year, and the Boynes Way Festival. Um, for my first time. It looks so good every year, but I've never been. But it looks so so good every time I see it on my shot and other YouTubers. I'm like, I got to go to this thing. But as soon as I saw those beef tips and mashed potatoes, I was like, wow, definitely got to go. So it starts March 20th and goes for through April something, I believe. Um, I believe it's late April. It might be the same weekend that the Food and Wine Festival ends. So let me know what is your favorite dish from the Wednesday Festival of this year or years past, and if you'll be attending this year, or if you have attended in years past. And lastly, for today, we're going to talk about coronavirus and the safety of the coronavirus. Safety at theme parks because of the coronavirus. So, as always, no matter where, you definitely should wash your hands. But all I say is if you are a smoker or have someone with underlying conditions, I definitely would, or if you're over 60, I definitely, be a little more cautious than the average person because that can really, if you get the coronavirus, it can be like very bad. But if you're the average person, eh, I don't know. I guess just use your best judgment. Um, Avoiding large gatherings, I'm not too sure. Like Peacock Live, a large gathering. I honestly wish they didn't postpone that because I was excited to go, and I think a lot of people were bummed that it's postponed. Coachella's moved to October. I'm not sure how people feel about that, but I'm sure people take weekends off and they make travel plans for these things. So the fact that they get moved or canceled, kind of bummed out. I'm sure they would be by that, but again, if you're healthy, just use your best judgment, take precautions. Also, if you want to go traveling, airfares are fairly cheap and empty right now. That's a place that's usually something has a large gathering, but plane has usually has obviously a large gathering, but they're empty. I don't know if you saw the person flying to Orlando. There's two people on the flight, one person filming and one person sitting in a seat. That's it. And that airfare was fairly cheap to fly there as well. So I definitely take advantage of that if you're looking to go on a vacation and uh, you thought the plane tickets were expensive. Um, so I'd say go take advantage of that. But yeah, bring some hand sanitizer with you if you want. Wash your hands everywhere you go. If you touch a railing, no, especially theme parks. I do weekly updates from Universal, Six Flags, and sometimes as much as I can Disneyland. All those places are very dirty. Even just the escalators going down to the lower lot at Universal, very dirty. So I try also not touch those the railings, and if I find myself doing it or leaning on the escalator because it is a long escalator ride, especially since there's four of them, then I just kind of go to the bathroom after I film the video, wash my hands, and then start filming again. And you should always, again, just continue to do the same thing. If you have to sneeze, um, sneeze like this, just go right in your shoulder, or cough, just like that, right? Or actually, even that was worse because some of the cough went above my arm, so I was trying to just kind of go right in the shoulder, just like that. Also, if you hear someone else sneezing or coughing, particularly if they're Asian, um, because I know I've seen this and I know it has, been going around. I've seen some news reports, and you know, just because they're Asian doesn't mean they have the coronavirus. Doesn't mean just because someone's coughing or sneezing doesn't mean they have the coronavirus. You shouldn't go into a cough and sneeze, but you shouldn't like be scared of them. Again, just gotta maintain your distance and go away, but don't like scream or like, oh my gosh, that person has the coronavirus, get away from them. Just because they may be screaming or shouting, or sorry, coughing or sneezing. Um, and they could have allergies, they could um something in the air could just make them sneeze. Um, They could have a flu and they could have a cold. If they had a flu, they'd probably be out. Well, they could have a cold, um, not necessarily the coronavirus, but obviously don't go up to them and give them a hug. But I mean, just don't be scared of them and just take precaution no matter what you do. And even when the coronavirus dies down, don't just stop washing your hands. Continue to wash your hands and when you go about your normal day because there's the flu. Flu is very deadly, especially again, if you have underlying conditions. And if you're over 60 or maybe under 5, the flu could be very the flu could kill you, just like the coronavirus could. So always wash your hands, even when it's not flu season. Always gotta be healthy. Keep your hygiene up. And on discussion of will they close any American theme parks? I don't think so, especially because most of these places they have international expansions, but their headquarters, and their home parks are here in um not Los Angeles, some Los Angeles, some no, and Six Flags is Texas, but these places um here, especially Disney and Universal, Six Flags may close because Six Flags and SeaWorld um they close. I mean, they closed yesterday for the rain. Well, they close routinely, and other Six Flags parks um, aren't on the East Coast aren't even open until the springtime because of snow. So they're used to closing long periods of time. So if those places close maybe a couple of weeks as a precaution, I wouldn't be surprised. And even here, the Six Flags Magic Mountain was well, they switched to a 365-day schedule. They were closed Sunday through Thursday and open or through Thursday and open Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and that's it. During during the non-peak times during spring break, they would be open every day. In the summer, they'd be open every day. So after that, they like close at 6, and then they wouldn't be open Monday through Thursday. So again, their Six Flags chains are used to closing, and Cedar Fair parks are used to closing um for long periods of time. But I don't see them closing unless maybe a couple weeks as a precaution, um, and maybe not the whole chain. For example, there's a lot of cases in New Jersey and New York, so maybe the New Jersey and New York Six Flags parks will take a precaution, maybe close for a month. Again, I don't even know if they're open yet, because it's still spring is still kind of rainy and snowy at times over there. So I feel like they open for spring break, so I feel like they would be opening soon, but I wouldn't be surprised if they maybe delayed their opening maybe a couple of weeks just until the New Jersey and New York coronavirus cases get a little bit more under control. Disney, Disney, I don't think will close the parks in America because they're just too valuable. And that's the super last resort, especially Disney World. Disney World is the largest theme park complex in the world. Um, and you have a lot of day-to-day operations, so I just feel like I feel like it would disrupt everything so much if Disney World were to close. I don't think that would be like a super last resort. Same thing with Disneyland Resort. Then a super last resort, there are about I think it went up to 20 actually, 20 cases in LA County and 5 in Orange County. So it's not compared to the amount of people we have, yep, 10 million people live in LA County and a few million live in Orange County, so it's not like bad. No, they may take steps toward. They have taken steps to, you know, keep everyone clean. They installed hand sanitizers around the stations around the park, but they may take other precautions. But I definitely don't think they will just flat out close. Not even for a week, because the different domestic parks operate much differently than international parks. So, in terms of finances and just attendance patterns and all that, annual pass holders, all that stuff. So, um, they really, again, they have to be absolutely last resort if these parks were to close. So, and same thing with the Universal parks. Universal, you know, Japan is closed. By the way, Universal Studios Japan and Tokyo Disney Resort will not be reopening on the 15th as expected. They slightly pushed back the opening dates to, I didn't read the article to see find out when, but I just saw they will be pushing back their dates um, for reopening. So if you're planning to go over there, um, thinking it'll be open, it's not. But yeah, I don't think they Universal closed the domestic parks, and they Singapore's still open. I think the only Universal International Park, because Japan made them, is Japan, because again, Japan as a country made them. So don't worry, just keep your hands clean, washed, and hand sanitizer. Also, good news is coming from the coronavirus. Good news about the coronavirus is coming. 70% of the China cases of people in China have recovered, and there's dwindling new cases each and every day in China and Korea. So that's good. Um, the same thing should make its way across all the other countries affected. As the weeks go by, they obviously just got infected later on, so there's still in the rising portion, but it'll peak and then it'll come back down like it is. China's like here in the peak, the one thing. Italy and everyone's here, and America's still, I think, on the rising section, but hopefully we can peak out and drop down soon, the next couple months. But everyone, thank you for watching this live stream. Please share it, like it, and subscribe to the channel for more theme park updates for theme park content around the world. And specifically, the Six Flags Magic Mountain, Disneyland Resort, Knott's Berry Farm, and Universal Studios Hollywood. As always, have a fantastic day and stay safe and be healthy.